Great that you're today, either live or through the recording. And yeah, if you are new to my community, my name is Irena Anggreni. And with me today, I have Frances Strickland.
Hi.
Would you like to say hi quickly, Fran?
Hi, everyone. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you. Thank you, Arena.
Our pleasure to to learn also from Frances today. And yeah, so if you don't know me, my name is Irena Anggreni. I'm a mental wellness coach. So who I help mainly are business leaders, actually business owners, people in business. So I help them to to develop emotional health, their emotional and mental health, and to have better self care, so they can create success that is sustainable without sacrificing their personal lives. And today, with Fran as the expert here, the guest speaker expert, we will talk about running a business. Yeah, because I know very well the people I support. Yeah, they are typically business people. And I myself also run my coaching business. So if you are tuning in right now and that's you, you may at some point also feel like, you feel the pressure, you feel the overwhelm, like you're doing so much, spending your resources, but not getting the result what you want. And before that happens, so please do find support for your business. And overwhelm should not be the norm. Yeah, should not be the norm of your business life because it can ruin your health, your relationship, and your finances also. So today we will learn from Frances Strickland, yeah, from Fran. She calls herself the accelerator of profitability, and I think that's a really fitting description of what she does. So I met Fran actually through our high level business mastermind program, and she's going to talk all about the strategies to restore that clarity and bring focus and get the results, the profit that you want. So a quick little intro about Francis. You see, she's like really with a like friendly vibe. That's why I really admire her. So France is a specialist in speeding you towards profitability. And yeah, we did discuss, right, Fran? There's a difference between profit acceleration or
Right.
accelerator of profitability, because you
Yes.
also
Yeah.
see things in sustainable way. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. And
Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Okay, so I will just finish my introduction, and I would really love to hear from you, friend. Like kind of
Okay.
more about what you, who you are and what you do.
Sure.
And she's a really experienced business strategist, working with mainly small business owners and entrepreneurs to help them extract more value from their activities, also while realizing the lifestyle that they envision. Yeah, I really love this friend because like yeah, there's so much like, oh yeah, stress and kind of hustling culture. And what I sense is that that's what you also create, that's what you avoid for
Right.
your clients. Yeah.
Right. Hmm.
So yeah, especially like for small business owners, Fran really knows your challenges, like like dealing with limited resources, with infrastructure. So she really can help you by simplifying, bringing focus back, and prioritizing activities that bring results and success. So welcome, Francis. It's really
Thank you.
great to have you here today. And if you're tuning in, yeah, through live right now or through the recording, just say like say hello to Fran because he's a really special guest speaker. Now, Fran, that was just like a glimpse of like of who you are. But please tell a bit more about you to our audience, and also um, yeah, what's your like, yeah, I know a bit what's your special personal touch, but please share with us.
Okay. Wow. So after that introduction, I think that I don't know where to start, but I'll find some way, because I have a mic. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thank you so much, Irene, for having me. It really is a pleasure to talk to talk with you and to be with the audience here. So a little bit about myself. I happen to live in Switzerland. I'm American. I've been here for 14 years. And I have a long career in human resources and also operations in corporate America. And recently left that area and decided that I wanted to take all of what I've learned and put it together in a way that could really help what I consider to be the backbone of the global economy, which is small business owners. And so here I am. And uh, I started out doing a little bit of leadership and organization, but the fact is, my first love has always been in business.
Mm.
I really, really enjoyed when I was in operations. I really enjoyed when I was in retailing and looking at the financial paperwork at the end of the day. And so I always aspired to have that to be in the thick of business. And so what I've been focusing on in the recent couple of years is profitability. I started out with simply saying accelerate profits. But for me, that didn't quite resonate with me well enough because I'm very, very concerned about the long term impact.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, we all want to have profits in our businesses, but I was concerned that maybe it was more like having an ATM business with cash in, cash out. And I said, what does it take for a business to grow? And it takes reinvestment in the business. And so I said, okay, so it is about how do we create a process that a business owner can generate profits in a sustainable and a responsible way. The sustainability meaning that they have profits and cash flow not just today, but they will have it into the future. And responsible, of course, yes, to the larger community and their teams that they have in their employ, but also to their own commitment to themselves.
Mm.
In terms of not only their, how shall I say, their growth of their business, but their personal growth as well.
Wow.
So that's a little bit about who I am.
Yeah. Wow, friend. Like, there's kind of, I get a sense of a very holistic way of looking at business, including what you mentioned also, these two keywords, sustainable and responsible. And that's,
Yes,
kind of to hear them as a pair, that's really special because you talk also about, yeah, kind of, you're running a business, you do need the cash flow and it needs to be
yes.
healthy, but
Hmm.
also responsible, like to, yeah, to the people in the company, to the larger community, but most and for all, like for ourselves commitment. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
yes,
And yeah, I see that also as a kind of your personal thoughts, especially like you've been like in various industry from HR, leadership, retail, operations.
yes.
Wow. Okay.
Mm.
And Fran, like who are typically your ideal clients? Because you already mentioned like small business owners, but yeah, I think we are curious, like to hear like what's the more refined version of that, and also what kind of problems do they come to you with
Ah,
usually?
sure. Okay, so let me organize a little bit. So let's talk about kind of my ideal client. I think it will surprise people a little bit when I get to the key point.
Mm,
But of course, because of much of what I focus on, it my service really serves well an owner who's been in business for a while. They have somewhat of an established customer pool.
right.
They have some revenue generation. It's pretty consistent. They have some understanding about their business, have had some experience, and somewhere along the line, they've come to a realization either they want more or they want to take a look at their business and
Mm,
see what else is available. And they're looking for someone to partner with them to help them discover more. I call it find breakthroughs, not only just breakthroughs in process and methodology that they have and systems and that they have, but also breakthroughs financially, because many times they're leaving money on the table just because they may be missing some important points.
Right. Okay.
Um, I sometimes also will work with people who are just starting out. When I'm working with people who are just starting out, it's about helping them get the right things in place so
Mm,
that they start out in a good way that sets them up for success long terms. But
right.
but the main thing about my ideal client
Mm,
is a client who has arrived at a decision and commitment,
all
and
right.
they are ready to invest in their own success.
Wow. Okay, that's really powerful. Yeah. And I feel also as I was listening to you, friend, like I'm also reflecting, okay, like decision and commitment. And I think
Yes,
like, like, yeah, maybe like, some people who just started their business, they're still figuring out like, okay, is this, running a business, is that for me? But yeah, kind of what you yeah, the best client that you can serve is like when they already have that decision and commitment that they
yes,
want this in
absolutely.
the long run.
Right,
You are there
right.
to support. Wonderful. And well, I'm also curious, like how do you approach working, because you mentioned about these two types of, like, okay, there are yeah, business owners that are already established, like they already have an understanding, have experience. There are also the more new business owners. Like, how do you approach working, like with these clients?
That's a wonderful question. I'm so glad you asked, because there is a process. Without telling too much and taking up too much time, every relationship starts with a conversation. So my approach is to engage with that owner and really get an understanding of their business in terms of where they are along the curve, their life cycle, if you will.
Yeah.
What is it that they want? Because I also want to explore their mindset.
Mm.
What is it they want, what they're aspiring to, what is their vision for their business, in 3 to 5 years,
Right.
and really what inspired them to start the business in the first place,
Mhm.
because that will actually tell me whether or not they're even on track with their original vision, and if that original vision has changed, then what is it, and are they moving towards it? So every relationship starts with a conversation in that space. And depending upon where they are in the cycle of their business, then I will do a deep dive
Mm.
into the technical aspects of the business, their practices, their sales systems, for example, marketing strategy, etc.
Right. Okay. Wow, it sounds also again like really personalized. Like you customize it like for, yeah, for each client that works with you. And I love it, that you also see it like it's a relationship, like in the long haul, and it all
Yes.
starts with conversation, really understanding where they are. And
Mhm.
I love when you mention about mindset, aspiration, and also the initial inspiration. Why do we get into business anyway? And
Sure.
yeah, and kind of I have a curious question, because you also mentioned, you hinted that you also look into AI, for instance, the use of
Yeah.
AI. Is that
Yeah.
something you'd like to share more? How does that, how does that impact your work, or or business in general?
Okay. Well, being a former HR person, of
Mm.
course, we're always thinking about how we can enhance productivity and help people be a competitive advantage for business. And also we have to deal with the fact when new technology comes in, there's a little discomfort. One of which is, can I be replaced? But this is one thing that I think about AI. First of all, it can really enhance one's capacity to deliver.
Yeah.
And the way I use AI is I actually, for instance, if I'm doing content on LinkedIn, I
Mm-hmm.
actually download my content. I just write, just like I'm writing a book, and I give a few prompts, and then I let AI help me organize it, and
Okay.
then I pull it off, and I just work with it, and the content you get is me.
Wow.
So I use it to help enhance my capacity to get things done quickly.
Mm.
Um, and the other thing is, it's the nuance of the relationship. When I'm having a conversation with a prospect or with a client, and I'm seeing that person, listening to that person, I'm even listening to the kinds of words the person is using. That helps me clue in on what's going on the inside. And in real time, I can adjust my
Mm.
approach or use a different inquiry to help raise awareness. And many times in working with a client, it is in helping them become more aware about their business. So AI is a great tool. I'm excited about it because it
Mm.
has cut my content production time in half. In
Yeah.
half.
Yeah. 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 It's nice also kind of to hear, like, yeah, you embrace like the technology like AI, but also like you keeping it personal also, like
Yes, absolutely.
because yeah, what you mentioned about kind of adjusting your process based on the conversation, because conversation is also a bit like a dance. Sometimes we need to dance a different way, like depending on the situation. And
Yeah.
wonderful that you're doing that with your clients.
And Irina, the reason why I was really excited about having this conversation with you today is because what you do is adjacent to what I do. And
Yeah.
it really is about the humanity of the
Mm.
people that we deal with. And that cannot be replaced with the mechanism and the tools that we have. And if we forget that we're dealing with human beings, then
Yeah.
what's the point? And this is why I really, really like that juxtaposed positioning that we have in complementary spaces.
Wow, yeah, yeah. Thank you for acknowledging that. Yeah, because like I that's also kind of the wonderful foundation of our relationship as well, like a
Yeah.
kind of professional relationship that we both are championing for that
Yes.
human approach. And there's, yeah, especially like running a business, and also like there are a lot of emotional involved,
For
roller
sure.
coaster. And yeah, like you mentioned also, our mindset also needs a check up, needs an
Mhm.
upgrade
Right.
when facing
Absolutely.
your challenge. And yeah, this all like fits, clicks together, kind of
For
like,
sure.
yeah, our business is also an extension of who we are, and it's really our yeah, personal development journey even.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm. And yeah, I'm curious if you have also like a tip, or like for our audience, especially with regard to pitfalls or mistakes. Like I remember when I started my, yeah, just started with my business. I think I did all the mistakes possible. I'm curious to hear, yeah, your take, especially from your experience, like what are the pitfalls, what are the mistakes, that a business owner should watch out for, and if you
Yeah.
have tips for them.
Okay. All right. Well, I could think of a lot, but this is to be encouraging. First of all, we all make mistakes. We all made mistakes when we started. Some of us may have been a little bit more advanced in our knowledge when we started, so we made fewer, but we all will make mistakes. So I'll just reflect a little bit on my own journey because then I can just be really, really transparent about what happened. So I remember that, I thought that I had to have lots of bells and whistles in order to help people. And so I went and actually made big investment in branding and getting a website and going through that whole process. and I didn't want to be visible, so I didn't have any, any, my image was nowhere on my website. But what I remember about that process is that I did not have real understanding
Mm.
of the shift from working in a traditional way to working as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And that is such a big shift. If anyone has had a long history working in a traditional employee employer relationship, that move to being an entrepreneur can be very, it can be scary and it can be daunting. So, ask questions. My tip is talk to people who are entrepreneurs, build off of what they learn so that you can have a sense, okay, this is, these are my strengths and this is where I might struggle. So maybe I need to prepare. I need to find a way to to reduce the risk that could derail me.
Mm.
That may mean that you spend some time with a mentor, you get in a mastermind group, or you get a coach.
Yeah.
And coaches who been in business for themselves, they also know firsthand what it's like. So that's the one thing, is to understand that yes, it is a big difference, a shift
Mm.
between traditional working and working for oneself.
Yeah.
The second thing is it is all about, and I go back to something I said earlier, decision and commitment. So when I started my business, I was very much interested in doing my own business. And guess what? I was just interested in doing my own business. So, I really wasn't making any progress. So in 2023, I did a step back and I looked at what my results were, and I said, you know what? This can't work. And through a process and with the help of a lot of people,
Mm.
uh, I was able to come to grips that I had only been interested. When I got clear that I really wanted this business and I put the stake in the ground and I said that I was going to make decisions about my life and everything I did around that decision to have my own business, everything really opened up and things really started to move. So understand the difference between being interested and being committed by making a decision and staking your claim about whatever you do is around that goal that you set.
Yeah. Wow, that is very powerful. Yeah, especially this commitment. I'm also like familiar with that process. Because like it took me a while figuring out. Okay, is this like, yeah, is this for me? This kind of life. Like, yeah, and I relate very much with what you mentioned. About the kind
Yeah,
of in the beginning, especially not daring to be visible. Kind of like, okay, if I just put my qualifications and like my offer, my service, what I can do, that people would come to me. But
right.
kind of I learned also the hard way that, oh, actually I do need to show up. I need
Yeah,
to to be a person also in this business
for
world.
sure.
And
For sure.
yeah.
And
And
Irina,
mm,
the thing about it is the tactics of doing things like, how to develop a message, how to post and get your message out there. Those are tactics, and those are things that you can learn. If you
mm,
partner with someone who has expertise in that area, they can help you get through those steps. But what you
mm,
cannot necessarily develop is just the confidence and the willingness to show up for yourself and show up for your clients in a way that's really serving them and serving yourself. So I always say, let's try to focus on the things that are really foundational to your success.
yeah, yeah, and everything else will follow, because
Sure.
it's also, yeah, kind of like, again, like I think like it's mindset. But okay, like what's your mindset in this, kind of, especially when we make commitment. Yeah, it all, yeah, like really attests to our mindset, to our integrity as well.
Yes.
With me showing up, and like I make mistakes. I may look like like not having a clue, but I'm learning and
Right.
I'm healing.
That's right. Right. And the willingness to say that it is a journey and you're learning along the way.
Wow. Yeah.
Enjoy the trip.
Yeah. Yeah. Lovely, lovely. Yeah. And yeah, thank you so much, friend. I think this is also like where we connect like very well, yeah, our expertise is like because especially yeah, business owners or business leaders, they are dealing with a lot of overwhelm, a lot of stress, a lot of anxieties, worries perhaps about their decisions, or worries about like, oh, what would be the impact of my decisions to
Right,
others around
exactly.
me, and to really overcome that that hurdle, that fear. And
Yeah,
like they yeah business leaders, business owners, they need our support also to kind of to get that clarity, also to upgrade their mindset and
yes.
upgrade their emotions as well in how they're dealing with the circumstances.
And when they cross over, when they get that and they're sure, then they're ready to invest themselves, then get expertise.
Mm,
And if I would say from a tactical, practical perspective, that is the next big mistake is
mm,
a reluctance to get help and ask for help and get expert help.
yeah, yeah,
And to see that it is an investment in themselves in
exactly.
their future.
Yes, yeah, yeah. That's what entrepreneurship is also about. Kind of
Sure.
like you invest so that you can create bigger things.
Right. Exactly.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much, Fran. This was really great. A lot of insights, a lot of golden nuggets. And I'm really grateful that, we have this opportunity. You make the time also to speak here with me and to everyone tuning in. And you've been sharing really a lot of great insights from your experience, from your expertise as well, how it is to run a successful business. And I know I get a lot of value, and I'm sure everybody listening also got a lot of value from this conversation.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
yeah, pleasure, Fran. If people want to know more about what we discussed today, Fran, and they want to reach out to you in terms of getting that conversation, getting some support, how do
Mhm.
they go about doing that?
Okay. Well, first of all, they can use LinkedIn directly. They can send me a message. And there is a link to my calendar that they can go on immediately from the LinkedIn profile page and just get a time with me and we can have a complimentary chat. And I think that perhaps do we have something that they can see? They can send an email also.
Mm.
uh, I think you're going to pop that up for us. Okay, yeah, there it is. You see my calendar there. Um, so yeah, that would be the best way. And if you feel uncomfortable with the calendar, just shoot me a DM and say, "Hey, Fran, can I talk to you?" And we will get together. So
Wow.
that's the best, quick way, direct way.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. Also, yeah, very inviting way. Hey, friend, can I have a talk with you? Wonderful that you
For
offered.
sure, for sure.
Yes. And
Yeah,
yeah, again, I really want to thank you, friend, for joining me today and sharing all these valuable insights. And I want to thank everyone also for the one who's tuning in through the recording, or right now perhaps you just catch the end. So I hope you enjoyed our conversation, that it's given you like some point of reflection as well, because I think like every business owners, like we also have these doubts, maybe somewhere in the journey. So this is really great reflection, especially for me, my personal takeaway is that dedication and commitment, decision and commitment. And yeah, so if you're tuning in through the recording or live right now, just let us know in the comment or shoot a friend a DM, yeah, personal message, what you take away from our conversation. And I look forward to seeing you again, everyone. Also, friend.
same, same
Yeah,
here. Yes,
yeah.
thank you so much, Rainey.
And have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, friend.